blood can she have left? Go.
Hello everyone and welcome to Action RPG. I'm your host Aaron, and for today's video we're headed to the world of Diablo 4 Season 2, the Season of Blood. And we are on the Diablo 4 homepage right now because they're giving me some free publicity. Look at this. Action RPG. Blizzard Entertainment, I really appreciate that. Now, yesterday's video, I break down the 2-hour live stream and give you my overall thoughts, and that will be linked at the end of this video if you want to check it out. But today's video, we're going to specifically talk about vampiric powers, which really look like broken affixes, powers, unique abilities we're going to add to our characters. And when I say broken, I'm hoping that translates to fun. Now, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, this is the unique mechanic for the Season of Blood. I'm going to play a little video right now. I think it's only about a minute long, and then we will break down all of the 22 vampiric powers. Enjoy.
One of the core seasonal mechanics for this season are vampiric powers. Vampiric powers can be acquired by defeating Bloodseekers and minions of Lord Zir in order to acquire potent blood, which allows you to unlock or upgrade vampiric powers.
When you collect all of these various powers, they have costs, which are going to be detailed as part of the pack system. So armor pieces that you collect during the course of the season are going to have these packs associated with them.
And there are 3 types of packs, and you can use the boons they provide in order to fuel the blood seals for various vampiric powers. You can combine the power of different blood seals in the Sanguine Circle, so long as you have the appropriate combination of packs in order to power them.
Well, one thing we've really tried hard to do is to provide powers that enhance every build so that there's no one right way to play when pursuing that vampire fantasy.
There's one in particular that I like where as the player dashes, they turn to a cloud of bats and they'll curse creatures they pass through along the way. As you kill those creatures, you're going to actually steal their souls. When you use certain abilities on your character, all of those souls are unleashed, dealing devastating damage to nearby creatures.
There's also an ability called Rising Moon, where you can stack basic skills, and after you reach a maximum number of stacks, you go into a vampiric blood rage. If you can't get enough of bats, there's even a vampire power that allows you to summon a bat companion. They'll take a bite out of your enemies and have a chance to stun them.
So now you should have a basic understanding of vampiric powers. For Season 1, we had hearts we put in our jewelry, and for Season 2, we're going to have vampiric power we're going to put in our armor. Yes, you know, people are saying it's one and the same, but it is more complicated. On top of that, for Season 1, if they gave us 20 options, only 2 of them were really, really good, and the other 18 were kind of crap. Where it is flip-flopped, at least how it feels right now for Season 2, where 18 of the options are awesome and only a couple don't feel that good. So all of these are really going to benefit you. It's just which ones are going to benefit your build more. All right, let's go through them. Hopefully it's not too boring. Anticipation, your ultimate skills gain 20% cooldown reduction. Right off the bat, that is just unbelievable. Coven's Fangs, minions, attacks deal 52% increased damage to crowd-controlled enemies. Now, I got a buddy who pre-season, this is not even game launch, we dedicated ourselves to trying to make a wolf pack companion build. And to this day, we can't make it work. Companions for Druid are the worst skills probably in the game. In my opinion, the worst skill I've maybe seen in any action RPG. So anytime I see an increase to companions, wolf pack, I like that. But this would probably need to be 520 for it to be viable. All right, Domination, you deal 24% increased damage to enemies who are stunned, immobilized, frozen, or feared. Okay, and it's got a culling effect on it. If they're also injured and not an elite, they will be insta-killed. Or for those epochers out there, kill threshold. Feed the Coven. Lucky hit. Basically, all your minions have attacks up to 60% chance to restore primary resource. So now if you are a heavy resource build, you can use minions, companions to boost your primary resource instead of them just doing more damage. So you can use them for something else. Hectic, for every 5 basic skills you cast, one of your active cooldowns is reduced by 2 seconds. Okay. When I'm reading through the vampiric powers, at least to my knowledge, I think of Storm, Claw, build for Werewolf, druid using the crone staff. There's two, I believe, different vampiric powers for basic skills, and both of them are just going to be unbelievable. All right, next one. Hemomancy. Your attacks deal 80% of your maximum life as physical damage to nearby enemies. You can only occur once every 4 seconds. You heal 1% your max life. All right, so a little bit of survivability. Infection. Hitting an enemy with direct damage infects them with pox. Inflicting 8 pox on an enemy expunges their infection, dealing 70% damage. Ooh, I like, it's like a reap mechanic. Reminds me of Torchlight Infinite. And I immediately think of Poison Shredder. The next one is also very exciting. And you hear what I'm saying? Like, it's cool being excited about some of the builds and having a different way to play them, or maybe them just being way better. Jagged Spikes. Thorns have a 10% chance to deal 300% increased damage and chill enemies. My Thorns build on Icy Veins is going to be a whole lot better. Prey on the Weak. You deal 16% increased damage to vulnerable enemies. Enemies are vulnerable while affected by Vampiric Curse from your other Vampiric powers. Obviously, vulnerable. If that's multiplicative, everybody's going to take that. Rampart. After not moving for 3 seconds, you gain a barrier for 40% of your maximum life for 6 seconds. This effect can occur every 20 seconds. Barrier. Ravenous. Lucky Hit. Up to 20% chance to increase your attack speed by 40% of your total movement speed for 6 seconds. So you got some attack speed, movement speed based on Lucky Hit. Resilience, you gain 1% damage reduction for each 2% life you have missing. This makes me immediately think low life. But we are for sure going to work on something low life barbarian. Ooh, I like that one. Brace. When you kill an enemy, fortify for 6% of your base life. While you have more fortify than half of your maximum life, you gain critical strike chance. So this is, I like it when it's kind of a tour, right? So you're going to get fortify, you're going to get survivability, but also if you hit the criteria, you're going to get more damage. Tear. One struck, you have a 14% chance to fear nearby enemies and slow them for 80% for 2 seconds. You are guaranteed to critically strike enemies who are feared. Oh man, this one. The Butcher's Cleaver, when you hit an enemy, you fear them. And with this vampiric power, you will have a 100% crit chance. Right. That is crazy. Last but not least, casting skills heal you for 3% life. Double this bonus while below 50% life. You also have life leech. Okay, those are all the minor vampiric powers. Okay, now we're gonna take a look at the major vampiric powers. And these ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 of them. You ready? Accursed Touch. Lucky Hit, up to 44% chance to inflict Vampiric Curse on enemies. Enemies with Vampiric Curse have a 15% chance to spread it to surrounding enemies. Accursed Souls deal 200% increased damage. These are those in the video, the dudes that are flying out and killing everything. Bathe in Blood. While channeling a skill, you form a pool of blood underneath you. This was also in the video. While channeling a skill in a pool, your channeled skills deal 40% increased damage and you gain 30% damage reduction. A pool can only form every 8 seconds. It's also ridiculous. Blood Boil. When your core skills overpower, which by the way, they talked about wanting to lean into overpower, so I'm not surprised that this is here. When your core skills overpower an enemy, you spawn 3 volatile blood drops. Collecting a volatile blood drop causes it to explode, dealing 60% physical damage around you. Every 20 seconds, your next skill is guaranteed to overpower. Well, there's definitely going to be some overpowering blood drop explosion builds. 4 more. Call a Familiar. Casting a mastery weapon, mastery, wraith, imbues, to nearby enemies, dealing 80% physical damage and chance to stun. This is the one where you call a bat. This is call a bat ally. Flowing Veins. I don't think anyone's going to use the bat ally. You deal 60% increased damage over time to enemies that are moving or affected by a vampiric curse. Everybody will want this to literally any dot build in the game. Metamorphosis. When you evade, you turn into a cloud of bats. Saw this again in the video. Becoming unstoppable for 4 seconds. Enemies along your path take 160% physical damage, are inflicted with Vampiric Curse. Unstoppable is great. Last but not least, Moon Rise. Hitting an enemy with a basic skill grants you 4% attack speed for 10 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. Upon reaching maximum stacks, you enter Vampiric Blood Rage, gaining 160% basic skill damage and 15% movement speed for 15 seconds. This skill, or this power right here on Stormclaw, using the Crone Staff with the other one. Where the heck is the other one? That is basic attack. For every 5 basic skills you cast, one of your active cooldowns is reduced by 2 seconds. Using Hectic with Moonrise, I can tell you right off the bat, Stormclaw is going to be so good for Druid endgame once you find a Crone Staff. Right off the bat, guaranteed that is going to be awesome. So, anybody out there that knows D4 and understands builds, you can see how not the 12 new uniques coming, not the changes to the classes that we don't know about. You can see that just through Vampiric powers, there is going to be a huge change in the meta. Actually, it's just going to be a completely new meta, like 100%, and we only really have half of the story. That's the video. Vampiric powers. Which one is your favorite? Is D4 still bad? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. 2 asks at the end of the video. Ask number 1, I'm hoping today is the day I have earned your subscription. I'm hoping today is the day you make the decision to push that little red button. I would really appreciate it, but only if you think I deserve it. If I haven't earned it, I'm going to work harder for you. Ask number 2, check out my Patreon. Thank you to the first 83 members that have signed up. Become an instant ARPG VIP and get Patreon exclusive content at the first link in the description. I get asked all the time, what's the best way to support? Patreon is it, and you get the most benefits. That's it. I'm done. Next 2 videos should be new Last Epoch build guides, including my new automated necromancer. It's going to be a lot of fun. Stay tuned. That's all I've got. Hopefully you were entertained or at least learned something. Aaron, out.